I wonder, did you ever choose not to? The end you always feared is coming. And the blood will be on your hands. The fallout of all your good intentions.
You had a terrible choice to make in Berlin. One life over millions. And now the world is at risk.
This is the CIA's mission. If he had held on to the plutonium, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
His team would be dead.
Yes, they would. That's the job.
Down with the victim. We both know you need them. Stuck in the middle of all irrelevance.
You don't understand what you're involved in.
You need to walk away.
Please don't make me go through you.
How many times has Hunt's government betrayed him, disavowed him, cast him aside? How long before a man like that has had enough?
You can't fight the friction. So you can't take the pressure.
Hey everybody, welcome back to LuckyDog Podcast. This is your host Elias Rauch. Joining me today is the one, the only, the doctor.
Benz over here.
Oh, what's going on, dude?
Just chilling, man.
Dude, so are you doing all right because of that that whiplash you might be suffering from? Because I know it was a good one.
It was a good movie. It was a good movie.
So I've never had an audience act like that in my movie theater before.
Oh yeah, that guy.
As soon as we walked into Mission Impossible Fallout, is this your first Mission Impossible you've ever seen?
No, I've watched some other ones, but it was a while back.
Jumbled up, don't remember.
Yeah, kind of just a bunch of action at one. Kind of they all blend in for me.
Right. Okay, so what were your first impressions of this movie just coming out? You just like, were you like, well, that was pretty good, or were you like, damn?
I thought it was pretty good, but it wasn't anything that made me feel like it was any different than any of the other Mission Impossibles.
Oh, really? You didn't think it stood out?
I mean, I don't really remember the other Mission Impossibles, but they all kind of like, this is just going to go into the basket with all the other ones, I feel like.
Oh, okay.
But it was good. It was good.
Okay. Well, I thought that this movie did leaps and bounds better than I ever thought it was going to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought this is probably number 2 movie of my year, of the entire year.
Really?
Probably number 1 of my summer.
What's number 1?
I mean, this was number 1 of the summer. Number, I don't know, some indie movies or something like that. You know, something not too much action.
Yeah,
but this is probably my number 1 action movie of the year, and that's big, saying Infinity War came out earlier.
Yeah, the only other movie I watched was A Quiet Place.
Oh yeah, so
that was quiet.
See, that's my top 10 too. So
that was good.
Yeah. So yeah, we had an audience that was acting crazy before the movie even started.
Yeah, when the trailers were coming on, hooting and hollering and clapping.
Oh my gosh!
Commentary on everything.
It was like, son of a bitch!
Mid movie, yeah.
Yeah, like what are you talking about, man? They were talking the entire time, and it really didn't bother me though. They were enjoying the movie just as the majority of the theater.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. It's kind of funny.
Well, they would tell a joke on the screen, and then they would like do some commentary or laugh at it, and then we would be laughing at them.
Yeah,
and so
true.
it was.
I think they thought it was a comedy, but
yeah, I mean, for as much action as there was a lot of comedy.
Yeah, there was.
There was nice sprinkled in organic comedy. But yeah, I thought the couple pros about the movie were the opening, the fresh opening they had.
Yeah, I really like that as well.
Without doing too many spoilers.
When they were saying their vows, are we allowed to spoil on this?
Well, not yet.
Oh, whoops.
We will. But there's several times throughout the movie, there's like twists. They literally get you like 3 different times, 3 to 4 different times. You're like, damn! Like I like...
I'm trying to think.
I like an action movie that is kind of dumb, you know, sometimes, but then I really like action movies that are smart, and I think 007 movies, you know, like James Bond, those type of spy thriller movies. This felt like a spy thriller movie that was smart and smartly written as well.
Yep.
I really liked the one thing at the beginning, the little featurette. I'm not really going to say this is a spoiler, but they have like a kind of like a little trailer at the very beginning of the movie. And it shows little clippets of the movie. It was like ding 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 ding, you know, when it was going in. Yeah. And what do you think about that? Like, they hardly ever do that. They show the entire movie in the 30
I think
seconds.
they spread it out in such a way where you didn't really know where any of the scenes were kind of applying, so it didn't really spoil it, but it kind of made you think, oh god, what's going to happen?
It got me hyped.
Yeah.
I got me hyped. It felt like an episode of television that was like on the big screen or something like that. And evidently, Mission Impossible, I never watched the television show, but that's what the original movie's from.
Oh, okay.
The based off the television show. And I think that's what this feels like. But on the big screen and way done. Like,
what was it that they were trying to go after the whole thing? Plutonium?
Plutonium.
Yeah.
So this is Ethan Hunt going after plutonium and
the whole movie.
It's kind of like a video game movie in the way him trying to always obtain something. You got to go here, got to cross this off.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of detours on the way.
Yeah, so it was kind of like that, but it was so good and so well shot, and the action was just like holy balls at the wall. It was off the chain.
Yeah, there was a lot of action.
So yeah, I thought that this felt like a modern day classic of a movie. You know, kind of like it felt like a classic, but like the action was done so well, and this was a $230 million movie now, most expensive Mission Impossible ever, and it felt like the most expensive Mission Impossible ever.
Yeah. And they did all the stunts and stuff, you said, right?
Yeah,
Cruise broke his ankle.
Yeah, he broke his ankle for 8 weeks, and those 8 weeks that he had broken his ankle or something like that, they had to pay the entire crew, and that's what raised the entire movie budget up to $230 million, which is the equivalent of like a superhero movie, like big ass superhero movie, or Avatar, for instance.
Yeah.
Like, they made an entire world with that same budget. So, yeah, I thought the stunts, fighting, action, choreography, and just where everything was placed, fucking awesome.
Yeah. Like,
people getting thrown through walls and ceilings, and just everything was crazy, and it was well thought out, not just like, you know how Jason Bourne is? You know how, like, it's a little bit too intense, like, you're just fighting in the shower for like 10 minutes, and it's like too intense, but this is like to the point where it's theatrical, but it's still somewhat realistic, you know?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I told my parents I liked it too. I told them to go see it.
I hadn't seen fighting like done this well since like maybe John Wick.
I don't think I saw that.
Oh, no, shit's dope. Keanu Reeves, he's fucking awesome. Like 50 years old too. Yeah, so I thought the style and like the colors that were popping off the screen, you know, when they were in the club and it was like dun 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 dun, and it was you know, the music was so key to this movie, just as much as the color and the composition and having, you know, everyone in the right place at the right time. When people were walking in a room, you know, you would have like lights on the side, you know, illuminating both sides, and everything was, it was a beautiful movie, you know, no matter what shot was going on. Mm-hmm. Did you like the music?
Yeah, I did. I mean, now that you mentioned it, it did have a pretty upbeat track to a lot of things.
Yeah, I thought there was maybe one or two parts where I would have just laid a little bit of undertone music, but the majority of the time it felt like a sweeping music, like Hans Zimmer felt, which is Christopher Nolan, Inception.
Oh, okay.
That type of feel. I just kept having that go through my mind the entire time. I just watched The Dark Knight, so
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah, they actually have like a scene, you know, when they're going through underneath Chicago, and they have like the bank, similar to. I can't talk about it.
That's another podcast.
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, I thought visually and the way it sounds, it felt very much like that.
Best Picture. Could be Best Picture.
No, you think it's...
I don't know about that.
We got a contender over here. Yeah, so visually it's stunning even when no action is happening, which is saying a lot. The twist throughout the whole movie, they get you so many times. This is a movie that you don't want to go in, like, you want to go in spoiler free. Because you can be spoiled pretty hard. Best Henry Cavill performance. That was the good looking guy.
Oh, the guy that was all.
He's the guy that plays Superman in the most recent Superman's Justice Leagues and Man of Steels and whatever else is. This is his best performance I've ever seen him. He never plays like gets that much he gives that much emotion when he's playing Superman.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job.
And there's one scene specifically in the third act that the camera's all up in his face, and I mean, it's one of the best performances you've ever seen. We could talk about it a little bit more in spoilers, but it's yeah, I thought it was amazing. I thought every character had fair screen time. At first, I thought it was, with the exception of Ethan, which is Tom Cruise. His team, all of them had some sort of part they had to do. You know, sometimes someone gets left off. But I thought, someone was on the geek stuff, someone was on the tech stuff, someone was on the bomb squad.
Yeah.
Everyone had their part, and even to the point where they had his ex-wife Michelle Monaghan.
Oh yeah, that was intense. Yeah, she was a doctor. Yeah.
Oh, doctor. What did you like his side characters, his sidekicks? His team.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting how they brought the ex-wife into the whole picture.
I thought they did a good job.
I was like,
that.
Whoa.
And I thought it was written smartly. It wasn't written like kooky, but it was written well.
It fit well.
It fit well. And she didn't get a lot to do because there's not. It's a 2 hour and 25-minute movie or something like that, and it didn't feel like it was 2:25 to me.
It didn't.
It moved really well, but there wasn't a lot of room for her to do much else in there. But she did great with what she did.
Yeah.
And his Rebecca Ferguson was the other 007 like agent or Mission Impossible agent, whatever. I thought she did amazing. I didn't think she got as much to say, but she had so much more to do, and she was a badass.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, there are any really poor actors in this whole group.
Oh yeah.
Everyone did a good job.
Everyone did great. Sound, music. When people were like going in the cars and stuff like that, I was like, "This is fucking Fast and Furious."
Yeah, and Tom Cruise is always sprinting. Every second you saw him, he'd be going full speed.
Dude. Like, oh my gosh, I'm surprised they even got him to stop for the movie. I mean,
he's like a road runner.
Dude, they're not crazy. They seriously stopped for like maybe 20 minutes of the movie to let him run.
I know.
I mean,
he's always running.
It's intense. It's insane. But yeah, this movie was the most like Mission Impossible 007 like I've ever experienced. From the tech, from I guess having the team, everything was really well planned out, and it felt smart and slick. I think slick is a big slick. But yeah, this is by far one of the coolest movies I think I've seen this year. Probably, without a doubt, top 10. Couple of cons real quick. Bad guy. He was kind of weak for me. He had a weak performance, and I think that's because mostly everyone else outshines him. What do you think?
Bad guy, as in like the.
He was like,
bearded.
Something.
Yeah, he was kind of. He's kind of underwhelming. It was like, okay,
what?
He's just underwhelming. It was just like he didn't seem like he was that. They could have picked someone a lot more harsh or
menacing. Or did you see Skyfall for 007? A while ago?
Yes. Do I remember it? No.
Okay. Well, the bad guy in there is a little bit more flamboyant with his actions and stuff like that. This guy, I wanted to fall asleep when this guy was on screen. Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to like fall asleep like while I was like watching the movie, but like the emotion he was bringing, just it felt like he was reading from a 1600s I don't know textbook when he was talking about like the more suffering causes the more peace or something like that.
I didn't get that.
Nothing that never really landed for me, and I wanted maybe a little more grounded of a villain. And it seemed we sort of did have one in the middle, a little bit of the movie, but we can talk about it in the spoilers if we want to. With the apostles. That was kind of a side thing. I wasn't. It was kind of a convoluted plot if you weren't following along, for every word for word.
Yeah,
I
was in that boat.
Especially if you hadn't seen the past 5.
Yeah, it's kind of. There were a couple points where I was like, all right, what exactly is going on now? Yeah,
I was just like the plutonium.
I was like, all right, object, get the plutonium.
Yeah, get the plutonium and run like hell. The motivation at the beginning I thought was set up kind of weak.
Yeah.
So I thought the very setup at the very beginning, I thought was extremely weak. I thought the setup with the plutonium going missing, I thought was extremely weak. And
Oh yeah.
I was just like, this
Are
is.
we in spoilers right now?
Not quite. But there's a setup for the plutonium to go missing, and I don't think that's a spoiler. I don't think that's a spoiler.
It's just a poor way for it to go.
It's a very poor way to go. We can go into spoilers if we wanted to, more about it in a second. But I said maybe 10 minutes of this movie could have been shaved off total at most. But
Yeah.
it didn't feel bad. It didn't feel bad at all. Everyone in this is essentially a superhero. They get hit by cars. They get shot by. I mean, some people get stabbed. Some people get shot. People live through the craziest stuff that normal people wouldn't. Mm-hmm. And Tom Cruise is literally a rag doll.
Yeah, he's in a lot of action.
56 or 55 or something like that. I don't know how he's doing that. What is your pops is about that age, right?
No, he's older.
Oh my gosh!
He's doing better than Tom Cruise.
Oh, he's doing better than Tom Cruise. Yeah, one thing I did notice was Rebecca Ferguson, the other 007 agent, Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise, and Henry Cavill. But they gave the majority of the action to Tom Cruise. I mean, there's so many times I think people were just sitting on the sidelines or just typing at a computer, and Ethan was like,
yeah,
like I was like, this is crazy, like the one-sidedness of the action at some points. Mm-hmm. But they did give Rebecca Ferguson a lot to do, I think.
Yeah.
Not so much Henry Cavill. I mean, there's one point Henry Cavill's just like walking to a building.
He's kind of standing around.
He's like walking to a building, and Tom Cruise is like jumping from over a car, jumping onto a motorcycle, jumping into a helicopter, and then like trying to reach him all while he's just like lollygagging to his office or something like that. You know, like it is insane the stuff that he has to go through. But I said basically no one works as hard in this movie as Tom Cruise. It is insane the stuff this guy goes through for his age. Really love the score, the movie, the music. Sorry,
the music.
Yeah, the music really helped put you in the action. The sound effects really, the gunshots were like, they were intense. It felt like people were actually getting shot behind me. I think they were actually ducking behind me. So like, oh shit. So yeah, let's jump into spoilers real quick. Right now. All right. So yeah, the plutonium thing, that whole plutonium bullshit, that was terrible, right?
Yeah, where
the beginning.
Yeah, where like the plutonium's like in the middle and it's like falling off the bike or something. Right?
There was like enough time for the car to be open with, like, we know the cars can drive themselves. Throw the plutonium in the car. He looks at the plutonium, looks at the car, looks at the plutonium, looks at the car, and then he turns around and shoots Rames in the head or in the body or something like that. It was like, dude, why would you look at the thing like 3 times and not do that?
And they get in a little duel, and then they come back, and the plutonium's gone. Who would have thought?
What the fuck?
And everyone's out.
The whole reason that it happened, and they rag on him the entire time for it, don't they? They literally rip Tom Cruise a new one the entire time. I mean, they don't let him live it up after, but it was everyone's fault, and they kind of take ownership for it. Yeah,
they always refer to it like, it's your fault that we're in this position.
Okay, so Alec Baldwin is in this. I thought this was the best performance.
Who is it? Who's that?
He's the guy that got stabbed by Henry Cavill in the third act when they do the turnaround and they, you know. Yeah. So right before Alec Baldwin gets stabbed, I thought Henry Cavill had that one scene when he was like admitting everything he was gonna do, and he was like, he was basically acting his heart out to the bad guy. Real quick, I forgot what the guy's name was. The guy with the beard, you know, the guy. It was actually Simon Pegg with the mask on. But I think that was one of the best scenes he ever had. But there were so many rug pulls from this movie. They were like, we got the guy. wait, we got the guy, but we're gonna hit him over there.
Let's just throw a mask on him. And
Yeah. It
call him
was.
something else.
I know everyone could have been someone else the entire time.
Reminds me
It
of
was like,
Game of Thrones.
yeah, it was like, what about this guy? It reminded me like Scooby Doo. It was like, but what about Old Man Jenkins? And it's like, and they ripped the face off. Like, how does that even work? How does the voice work? How does the
No
the
idea.
nose work in the face? Like, there's so many like things about that doesn't make sense.
It's
Like
the future.
the eyes. I don't even know that.
I don't know.
But what about that bathroom scene though? That action in the bathroom scene. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah. That
and
was a
then
good one.
Henry Cavill had his arms right before he that guy. I mean,
Yep.
the way they shot the action, or they showed the action in the trailer, I thought it was Tom Cruise versus Henry Cavill in there, but I didn't realize it was.
They're actually on the same team.
They were looking for Lang, which that was another confusing thing for me. Why did they keep accusing Ethan Hunt being Lang or something?
Yeah,
like
that was like not even.
It went nowhere, and it was adding.
That's where your 10 minutes could have been shaved off.
Yeah, I was like, fuck Lang everywhere.
It was a good action shot though. That whole scene.
Dude, yeah, and then the blood on the floor, just the way it was like
Yeah.
intense. Another one.
It was.
Do we have any last thoughts about this crazy action flick? I would recommend totally seeing this 3D IMAX.
What's the E score on it? If you had to give it an E score from 1 to 10.
Oh, the E.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a reverse interview now.
This is Elias verified review.
Okay. it's a
Okay,
verified.
so
So I've got this. This is a 9.
a 9.
Dude, this is a 9.
That's pretty high. That's pretty high.
What-
I mean, I agree. It's a good movie, but for me, it's hard because I don't really remember all the other Mission Impossibles that well, so it's hard for me to compare. But overall, yeah.
I'm comparing this over. I saw Skyscraper 2 weeks ago. That was a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. That was a dumb action flick.
Well,
this
it's
is a
got The
smart
Rock in it,
action flick.
and you know it's gonna.
Well,
you know what you signed up for.
That movie, if it just would think a little bit harder about the reasons, it was a movie, then it could have been a lot better. It could have been Mission Impossible, but The Rock is sitting behind a green screen, waving his arms like boo boo boo, and they're sitting behind green screen fire, and they can't feel anything, so they're not like actually scared. They don't feel like they're falling from a helicopter. They don't feel like they're driving a motorcycle.
Yeah,
we are in this shit with Tom Cruise, and the cameraman is almost just as much as a character with this.
I know, to follow him around the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, how the fuck did they do that?
I mean, probably Usain Bolt, cameraman.
Oh my god,
running around with
like,
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how else they would do it. They literally have so many shots, so many different angles, so many different stunts, so many different the crazy shit. We see the broken ankle shot. I think several times.
Oh yeah, you showed me that.
Several times we see him limping away. Like I think he rolled his ankle once and then broke it another. So, and you see both shots they use him, and it's crazy. This guy literally.
Got to see it,
dude. Imagine being in like a few years he's gonna be 60. Imagine saying that dude's 60 doing that.
He does not look that
dude.
Old. He's in good shape,
dude. Oh my god, dude. That was another one. I'm excited.
Another one.
Yeah, dude. Another one, dude. I would totally see it again. I would totally see
you are gonna see it again. Who are you kidding?
Let me put this straight to you. I didn't use my movie pass, which means I had to
pay
full price. Which, by the way, movie pass is going under apparently. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Apparently, allegedly. Don't want to get that live.
Yeah, this guy paid full price for a movie ticket when he had a free ticket.
Didn't give a shit
because he wanted to see it that bad.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I didn't think I wanted to see it that bad, but dude, it's next level. It's next level.
Yep.
Yeah, I think all of it. I think maybe the writing could have been just a tad more accessible. I think that would be the right word, just a little bit more accessible to the general audience. I don't want to say dumb it down because that makes me sound like I'm like, hey, what the hell y'all saying?
Yeah.
But make it just a little bit more accessible to the audience that has not been involved in the Mission Impossible series.
Yeah.
For the past.
That could help.
For the past, it's
forever.
1980s, late 80s. So, for the past 6 films. So, yeah. I think that's my only thing. Anything else? You got anything?
I got nothing.
Oh, you got anything? Oh, he's got everything. He's got everything. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Benz, thank you for joining.
For sure.
Rate, share, subscribe. LuckyDog Podcast. We're available on YouTube, SoundCloud, all the other popular podcast apps. Check us out. We got a whole list of other things, TV, movies, all the other goods. Now music. Check us out. Take it easy.
So, how is he?
Well, you know, same old Ethan.
What the hell is he doing?
I find it best not to look.